No calories to burn. Systems shutting down. The legs are there, you just can't feel them. The eyes still see, but through a gauzy veil of delirium. At this point, Shawn Welch is aware of two things. The finish line is so close, and someone is so close behind.
He was actually a competitive swimmer prior to his accident, and a very good one at that. He's pretty much had to learn the bike ride since the accident, but it's the run where the body...
Hi, my name is Sami Saad, and I am an Ironman.
Hey, Sami.
Growing up, I was an only child, but I never felt like an only child. My parents always had my friends over. They got me started in sports really young. When they had me, they made it so that I never felt pressured. They always put me in things, but they said, we want you to decide. They gave me the exposure, but they said, we want you to pick. But they never let me quit mid-year or mid-season. And then when I graduated and I went to try to go semi-pro for soccer, ended up being a practice player was what it was, and that was not for me. I was over proving myself to people, and I found a CrossFit gym that had a similar, family dynamic of sports and training, and there is where I met my now triathlon coach, Jackie, who is a coach there.
And I'm very passionate about getting triathletes, especially adults who aren't comfortable swimming. That was always that's the reason why I started coaching anyway, I was just so shocked that people were afraid of open water or didn't even know how to swim, so I thought that was crazy. So I really wanted them to at least be comfortable or feel the way I do when I'm swimming.
I feel like one week the bike is my favorite, and then depending on how my body feels, I might not want to bike that week, and I might want to swim to feel better. So I feel like depending on how you're feeling physically and emotionally and everything else that's going on in life, things change. And I think that's the great part about the sport, is that you're not stuck on one thing and you have to do it no matter, you can kind of fluctuate in your training and enjoy different things and still feel good at the end of the day, depending on how you're feeling, what you're going through.
So I feel like I really don't know how I started triathlons. When I was younger, I swam competitively, so I kind of had the background. I also did a few triathlons when I was younger, nothing too serious. And then once I graduated college, I played softball, in college, and then I had no clue what to do with myself after. I was teaching spin classes at the gym, and then I kind of just rolled into it. I think I signed up for an Ironman and just did it. A lot of training went into it. The guy that was my coach totally got me set and was just you need to realize what you signed yourself up for, and helped me out that way. So
I just wanted to change my life a little bit, so I always lifted weights, and a buddy of mine got me into biking, and then all of a sudden told me about swimming and then triathlon, and it kind of rolled into something that's evolved into me spending a lot of time training right now. So it's a lot of fun, and it makes me feel healthy, and it's a great community. The community is unbelievable. Everybody you meet is, it's a very embracing place, and you really can't replace it. I've never seen anything like it, so I'm kind of hooked.
One more time, 3.
Not that I had a body image issue, but it was always you're a bigger girl, you're not going to be the fast one. But in triathlon there's ages, shapes, sizes, colors, you name it, they're just out there doing it, and nobody cares.
3, 2, 1, rest.
If you had told me I was going to do an Ironman 4 years ago, I probably would have laughed in your face. My goal going into this race was to prove to myself that my body's capable of more than just what I've been doing.
The road to becoming an Ironman is not for everyone. It's for those who want their pursuit to mean something. For their efforts to matter. For them, the morning rituals, weekend training. It's not a sacrifice. It's a calling.
Everybody from first.
And it's funny when people ask, like, what made you do it? What made you do it? I think when you find a bunch of people that you surround yourself with that do the same things, that, you know, inspire you to do better. The pros, sure, they're great in any sport. The pros you look up to, but it's the people that are, you know, the average Joes that are moms, dads, you know, full-time nurses that make, you know, they just make it work.
I am Gina DeVito, and I'm an Ironman.
I was a swimmer from about middle school age and on. I got in swimming because I had very severe asthma as a child, and I was not able to run or do a lot of really intense sports. So my doctor at the time recommended that I start swimming to help control my breathing. Well, in triathlon, you know, you're in open water. So it's definitely a much more anxiety-provoking situation. In a pool, you're in a controlled environment. It's warm. You're within reach of people if you need to get out, or, you know, it's relatively safe, and it's swimming, especially pool lap swimming, is very rhythmic. So that is in part, I think, why I learned how to be a technically good swimmer, because I had to be to control my breathing. As I got older, I was able to breathe better, my lungs got stronger, and I started testing the waters with some other sports as well. But it wasn't until I moved to Long Beach when I started personal training there and met some really great people. And one of my clients at the time, now teammate, told me that she was doing this 70.3 half-distance triathlon in Maine, and she asked me if I could do it with her. And I said, sure, let's do it. And that was that.
Yeah, baby! Something about that self-accomplishment, I think. Yeah. Because nobody can take that from you. It's like, you did this and you did it with your own body. You're traveling miles and miles and miles on your own limbs. You know, it's crazy.
And the best thing I will say about triathlon in that aspect is this is my personal feeling too. Unless you're an elite or you're a professional, that you're in competition with no one but yourself.
Yeah.
I've been a team sport athlete growing up my whole life, played sports my whole life, and you're on a team. Yeah, there's triathlon teams, but everyone's friends and they hang out. I'm talking more of like, you're out there and you're competing against yourself, and you're suffering out there yourself. It's you against the course, and it's an amazing thing. It really is.
A woman just undid my shoes.
What happened?
A woman just undid my shoes.
Listen, get water up here, okay?
Hi, my name is Dion, and I am a 7-time Ironman. My greatest gain for this year's Ironman Mont Tremblant was doing it with Sami. You know, we trained together for so many months, and then being able to do the race with her is an amazing feeling.
Let's go, babe. Come on. Come on. Got it, girl. Good job, Dee.
I ended up going to see my coach, Jackie, at her Ironman event in Louisville. And I was like, just amazed and so inspired by everyone doing this race. Not the pros, but people like you and me. People of all ages, all sizes. It wasn't like a one-size-fit-all thing. not a lot of African Americans, people of my race, but I was truly inspired to see people just go the distance. It's almost like a job. Some days you have good days at work and some days you have not so good days at work, right? You make a lot of sacrifices, missing events or being tired going to events. You know, we're not pros, so we have jobs. We have full-time jobs. We have families. And sometimes you feel a little guilty taking away that time to train for yourself. But I like to say that taking care of yourself is self-love, and it's not selfish.
Come on, D. Atta girl. Give me some right here.
Hi, my girl.
Nice job, D. Looking good. So strong.
It's very hard to describe what a great feeling it is to be able to accomplish an Ironman. It's one of those things where Ironman doesn't have a look. It's not about being black. It's not about being white. It's not being tall. It's not being short. It's not being fat. It's not being skinny. There's no one look to Ironman. I'm Ironman.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
Hell yeah.
Give him hell.
I'll try.
Give him hell. You got it.
Kill or be killed, right?
You got it.
Sweet dreams, Sami, Saad.
At the beginning of the race, it was a surreal feeling of, I can't believe this moment is finally here. It felt like it was going to be forever. The hardest part, honestly, was probably starting. My goggles automatically fogged, and I was like, this is it. This is how the day's starting already. I got nervous. I ran over to you guys, and I was like, I don't have my baby shampoo to put in my goggles. And then Jill was like, just spit in your goggles. I was, that's not going to help. And I made do, but I think just starting it, and I was like, you're not going to see anybody for 15, 16 hours, however long it's going to take you. And I think that was scary to just think about. The race itself is a great accomplishment, but I didn't do it alone. The people that were there with me, they're doing it with me, seeing how far they've come, seeing how far I've come. It's a surreal moment. It didn't take 8 months to train for it. It's taken me since 2015 when I started triathlons.
You are an Ironman from Wisconsin.
I've come to find out, like, as a child, I didn't do things because I was scared. And I felt like I was held back by myself. So I always come to approach things differently now. If it scares me, I'm going to do it. Ironman scared me, so I hit the registration button and I signed my life away.
Their bodies were obliterated, but the spirit held firm.
And here comes Sami.